The fact that the German government started with the education system says a lot. Yeah, bro. It says a lot how much racism is embedded in the system of our country. Is embedded in our education systems. The people at the highest points in our who have the most power, they don't give a fuck about racism. Because if they did, they would have done something about it. Germany already did it. It's a fucking playbook right there for you for an example. There is no fucking excuse. Today is gonna be a lot for some of us, so just keep in mind we're talking about American atrocities. Yo, Wakanda Wolfman, thank you for the follow. We're talking about American atrocities today, so like obviously this is gonna bring you some pretty fucking dark material, okay? But we'll try to keep it fun and light where we can. But I mean, at some point, there's no real beating around the bush. You know what I'm saying? Today's first video. The question is, when was America great? That's the first video topic, bro.
What year was America great?
When it was founded.
Except for the slavery stuff.
Except for the slavery stuff, you know?
I think we were probably our strongest immediately post-World War II.
So around the 1950s?
Yeah, mid-40s, 50s.
I mean, I think the 50s was great other than, you know, segregation and women's rights.
Look, we could sit here and paint negative faces of all times in America.
Correct.
It's make America great again. So when was the last great?
It's always been great.
If it's always been great, what are we?
For who? For who?
80s were pretty good. Right, the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s, great music, great
Crack
video
cocaine?
games, crack cocaine.
Yeah.
Well, we're always great. The people are great.
So
America
is great right now. So we did it.
No, we didn't do it.
America became great when the Founding Fathers put pen on paper in 1776 and decided to build a country based on laws.
Right.
That was greatness.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Other than the slavery, obviously, that was terrible. And
We did have that. Yeah, we did have that. And the Indian thing, right?
that was terrible. And the women's voting thing. But other than that, that was awesome.
A few hiccups along the way, you know. Like they say,
Hiccups? Bro, these niggas are doing mental gymnastics right now, bro. They are doing backflips, somersaults, fucking 360s. They don't work this hard for anything else, bro. Hiccups? Up later about, like, pay close attention because I want y'all to remember this because we're going to analyze it later. But keep in mind how Americans remember their history and how conservatives this summer, we saw how they remember history and how they want to remember history and the level of accountability. Just keep that in mind because I want to call that out later. And I need y'all to be on the same page with me. This next video is called How America Accidentally Invented the Nazis. You mean the same way like a man accidentally cheats on his wife by accidentally slipping, falling in some coochie? You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, oops. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fell.
America, the land of the free, the home of the brave. Give me your tired and your poor. We were the first to the moon. We invented rock and roll. We have a Beyonce. We made Nazis.
What did he say?
We made Nazis.
What? What the f?
A lesser-known part of history, Hitler's Nazi Party wrote almost all of their anti-Jewish laws based off of our own Jim Crow laws.
What? Say it again.
Hitler's Nazi Party wrote almost all of their anti-Jewish laws based off of our own Jim Crow laws.
This is the part in the YouTube video where we say, "This is America. Don't you catch you slipping now?" Bro, we were the Nazis' role model. America was the Nazis' fucking role model for the Holocaust, bro. Isn't that crazy? They say, man, look at them, bro. All that bigotry and separation and segregation and, you know, basically, you know, oppression. I can't wait to make a country like that one day. You said they don't include that in history? I wonder why. I wonder why they don't include that in history. What's up, Mel? How you doing? Why don't we have that in history books, bro? Why don't they have that in history books, bro? I wonder why. Bro, you got me at work dying laughing because it actually slipped in some coochie. Yo, glad I can share a laugh, bro. The more I learn about America, the more embarrassed I am to live here. Bro, same. I'm moving to Germany. Fuck it. Of course they don't teach us this. It's a lot. It's a lot they don't include in history books. Yeah, bro. It sure is, bro.
Potential future ally. America was a master.
A potential future ally, bro. Hitler saw us as a potential future ally because we had a commonality of oppression of marginalized groups. Let that shit sink in, bro. Do you realize how horrible that is? And if you think about what Hitler did,
The right idea. You know that Hitler also thought that you guys came from the underwater city of Atlantis, right?
Wait, he thought Aryans came from Atlantis? Like white? This is some shit conservatives would believe too. Like, it's called Hitler, Nazis, World War II, and how Germany deals with its dark past. Now, there's gonna be a part in the video where we talk to Germans and they talk about their history. And I want you to remember how, and I'll highlight it then, remember how conservatives talk about their country and their past. Germany had the Holocaust and they dealt with the Holocaust and how to, de-radicalize their society in a way that America should start doing. You know what I'm saying? So let's check it out.
Like every day, the television schedule was peppered with heavy Hitler documentaries and World War. That's how I came to appreciate for the first time that Germany as a whole doesn't ignore its dark past. But this wasn't always...
What? Germany doesn't ignore its dark past? You mean there's an alternative to what America is doing and how they're, not taking accountability for their past?
But it was a spate of anti-Semitic vandalism in West Germany starting in 1959, which proved to be a wake-up call. Focus was put on education, and by the time Germans of my generation were in school, the Holocaust and National Socialism were a firm feature on the curriculum. Many also began to ask questions about their own family's involvement.
Wow. You mean the accountability to that level where they're thinking about their own family involvement in the Holocaust, and this is generations after the Holocaust? Interesting. Do you think Americans do that today, chat? Do y'all think Americans do that today with slavery? I don't think they take accountability like that. I think they just say, oh, that was just some old shit that happened. Like how many Americans that are alive today are benefiting from slavery and systems of slavery today? You know what I'm saying? How much, because America got rich off that shit. And there was a lot of business owners who got rich off of that shit too. You know what I'm saying? How many still hold that same generational wealth along with the system that is still built to support whiteness and white supremacy?
History lessons or in public discussion.
So, you telling me UK does the same thing as America and they kind of gloss over their own history, the colonial imperialistic history where they fucking waged war on the fucking world for money, power, and resources? What a shocker!
Recent years have seen the re-entry of a far-right political party into parliament and several horrific...
Wait, you mean interesting. So you mean it's not just America that has a far-right movement? All right, this is the part I was waiting on right here. Listen, this is gonna be where Germans actually talk, and they talk about their history. So you're gonna have to read the subtitles. It might be a little hard, but I would love for y'all to take some of the quotes from what they say and talk about them in chat.
Wir Deutschen können nicht stolz sein auf uns.
Became great when the founding fathers put pen on paper.
Nur weil es so lange her ist und jetzt keiner persönliche Schuld mehr hat, glaube ich nicht, dass man jetzt einfach sagen kann, es war ja keiner.
Wir können nichts dafür, unsere Kinder nicht, unsere Enkel nicht. Also irgendwann müsste ja mal Schluss sein.
Wir tragen daran Schuld, fände ich viel zu groß. Aber ich glaube, wir tragen eine Verantwortung, das was irgendwo verhindern, dass sowas wieder passiert.
Wird in Deutschland genug, zu wenig oder zu viel darüber gesprochen?
Ach, man kann gar nicht genug darüber sprechen.
Manchmal denke man, es ist...
Oh, what did she say? What was her question? She said it so fast. Is the Nazi era discussed enough, too little, or too often in Germany?
Wenig oder zu viel darüber gesprochen?
Ach, man kann gar nicht genug darüber.
It is not possible to talk about it too much. Wow.
Manchmal denke man, es ist zu viel des Guten. Immer wieder, immer wieder, immer wieder.
Ich glaube, es ist immer in Deutschland ein totales Tabuthema. Ne?
Ich glaube, es wird viel gesprochen, aber die Aufmerksamkeitsspanne, die wird immer kleiner, um das Gesprochene auch zu bewerten.
Gerade wenn man von der Schule zum Beispiel nach Hause kam und sowas gelernt hat, hat man halt natürlich auch die Eltern gefragt oder die Großeltern.
Die Eltern, die noch aus der Zeit kamen, die wollten sich in gewisser Weise, auch wenn sie nichts damit zu tun hatten, distanzieren.
Was mich nur immer wieder erstaunt ist, dass diese Generation angeblich nicht davon wusste, was damals passiert ist.
Haben Sie manchmal Angst, dass sowas wieder passiert?
Are you afraid something like that will happen again?
Könnte?
Ja, durchaus, ja, habe ich.
Also es kann jederzeit wieder passieren. Wir sind jetzt nicht weder klüger...
It can happen anytime. We're not any cleverer than the people back then. Interesting.
Als die Menschen damals noch Gott sonst irgendwas.
Nein, keine Angst. Hier bei uns in Europa haben wir genug gelernt, der Erste und der Zweite Weltkrieg. Ich glaube nicht, dass das sowas kommt. Die Menschheit ist vernünftig geworden.
Hosting me.
So there, she said it so fast. Is the Nazi era discussed enough, too little, or too often in Germany?
Wenig oder zu viel darüber gesprochen.
Ach, man kann gar nicht genug darüber
It is not possible to talk about it too much. Wow.
sprechen.
Manchmal denke man, es ist zu viel des Guten. Immer wieder, immer wieder, immer wieder.
Ich glaube, es ist immer in Deutschland ein totales Tabuthema.
Ich glaube, es wird viel gesprochen, aber die Aufmerksamkeitsspanne, die wird immer kleiner, um das Gesprochene auch zu bewerten.
Gerade wenn man von der Schule zum Beispiel nach Hause kam und sowas gelernt hat, hat man halt natürlich auch die Eltern gefragt oder die Großeltern.
This has had an unmistakable effect on national pride. You rarely see the German flag flying here. Unless the World Cup is on.
You rarely see the German flag flying here, but in America, them niggas got Trump jerseys with the American flag on it. Hilarious.
You rarely see the German flag flying here. Unless the World Cup is on.
You barely see it flying.
There's no visible pride in the armed forces either. In fact, it seems the country's military is more often ridiculed than celebrated. That's not to say
There's no visible pride in the armed forces either. Crazy.
That most Germans are not proud of their country. Many are, but their patriotism is usually quiet and practical rather than loud and emotional.
Woo!
Germans are also
Quiet
among the
and
most pro-EU Europeans. One of the organization's founding purposes was, after all, to promote peace in Europe.
So there you have it, guys. A fundamental difference between how Germans hold accountability for their country, for their past and their dark past. You have citizens where they're ready to take accountability for the fucked up shit that's happened in their past. You know what I'm saying? But America can't do that for some reason. Now, but imagine if America did, bro. Imagine if America did. How great would this country be at that point? You know what I'm saying? How great would it be to see, oh, we fucked up. We did a lot of dirt, you know what I'm saying? But now we're gonna hold ourselves accountable, and we're gonna make sure that we make this shit right in the best of our abilities, you know? How different would America be? It's fucking gross, bro. And how dare you conservatives be proud about this country when we can't even take accountability? How dare you? There is no unity without accountability. Okay? There is no pride without accountability. Fuck that shit, bro. That shit makes me so fucking angry. It makes me so angry, bro. Started with the education system says a lot. Yeah, bro. It says a lot how much racism is embedded in the system of our country. It's embedded in our education systems. The people at the highest points in our who have the most power, they don't give a fuck about racism. Because if they did, they would have done something about it. Germany already did it. It's a fucking playbook right there for you. For an example, there is no fucking excuse. There's zero excuse.